One is called the line monitor, and that's what's being recorded. And the producers sit in the back row, and on the other side of the director is the associate director, and they're calling out. The camera shots are all numbered from 1 to 500. It depends upon how many camera shots there are, and they're readying the camera people for their next shot. Because you could have a 2-shot, which is with shooting 2 people, and then the associate director will say, "When off, you have a close-up of Bo," like I say. So this way, the camera people anticipate, okay, when I lose my red light, then I get a close-up of Bo. And then at the end is the production assistant, and they're timing the show. So again, there's a lot of people, and then you have in the audio room the audio engineer sitting at this huge console, and they're talking to the people who are out on the floor on these big boom microphones. And they're going through the script with the boom people. Charlie, you have Clint is going to come in, and he's got a line at the door. So that boom swings over to get the actor coming in. So things like that. A lot of people. I keep saying it, but it's really amazing how many people, and it's a well-oiled machine.
Now, would you try to shoot the show in sequence or out of sequence?
Years and years ago, when I first started there, we would do the show. Act 1, Scene 1 would be in this set, and Act 1, Scene 2 would be in a different set, and the directors had to coordinate with getting it was done like it was a live production. It wasn't live, it was taped, but they tried to go through it. I hope that makes sense, but again, when we started to do all the scenes in one set, and then that would take a couple of hours, and then we would move all the equipment to the next set. So the actors like that better because they wouldn't have to be in for the whole day. Where if years, like I say, in the early 80s, the actors had to be in. If they were in Act 1, Scene 1, and they were in Act 6, Scene 4, they had to stay for the whole day. If that makes any sense.
Yeah.
But the actors really liked when we started to go from set to set, because a lot of them were only in the restaurant set or Vicky's house. So there was another person who had to coordinate the call times for the actors. Yep. For what part of the day their scenes were going to be taped. So if that makes any sense, but we tried to go as much in sequential order, just so it wouldn't become confusing to any of the actors.
Well, you alluded to directing actors is a whole nother story.
Yeah.
I mean, you have different personalities, different egos, and all that.
Yes.
So, what are some good techniques on directing actors that you learned?
I always found that to be a good director, you had to be a psychiatrist. Not that actors are crazy, but no. Especially when they come in first thing in the morning, and sometimes they weren't in the best mood. But I always had the knack of getting them out of their funk. And, because you could just tell that, oh, they don't want to be here today, or they're not really happy with the script today, and but most of the actors were very professional, and they would say a lot of times, you know what, today's script is not great. Okay, but so we'll make it work, and hopefully tomorrow's script will be better. So they had that was a good attitude that they had. And then there were a couple of actors who it just did not matter. They hated everything. They didn't want to be there. And I never said this to them, but I said it to my fellow directors. If they're so unhappy, why don't they just leave? Yeah, but because they're making a lot of money, and so that's why they don't leave. So they come in and they make everybody's life miserable. But there are only a couple of the actors like that, and I always found the younger kids, they would come in after being up all night and doing who knows what and all, and they come in and the bags under their eyes and all, and and I go through their scenes and say, okay, so here you cross over and you sit down over here, and they'd be okay, and I'm like, I always had extra pens in my script book with me, and I always gave them a pen and said, you might want to write that down. Oh yeah, oh that's right, yeah, okay, yeah. Because if they don't write down their blocking, and then when we get upstairs and it's time to camera block, it just wastes so much time when you say, this is where you were going to cross over and sit down. Instead, if you're being professional, you write it down in the morning, and you can follow along, and it just makes everybody's life easier and makes the day go by smooth.
Yeah, because soap operas, there's not really a lot of wiggle room. You really are on a tight schedule because you have to get things done certain times.
Exactly.
I'm sure there's not a lot of improvisation.
No. I mean, you don't have to go exactly word for word, but it's got to be pretty close. And also one of these nighttime shows, I'm just picking a show out of the clear blue sky, like Grey's Anatomy. A show like that, or whatever, Cheers, or back in the day, any of these shows, they had a week to do one episode, where soaps were, again, 5 days a week, 47, 48, 49 weeks a year. It was like a factory, so everybody's got to be on their toes, and if you weren't, you got a talking to from the executive producer, and
you don't want that.
Not many people like to have that talking to. So,
did you ever have to shoot on location outside the set?
Yeah, the show did it again in the '80s when ABC had a lot of money and would spend a lot of money. One Life to Live went to Austria. And did all these wacky storylines, and they went somewhere, Argentina, in South America. They did a whole big storyline. They used to go a lot of places, and I actually, as a cameraman, I worked. It was in Central Park, which was right down the street from the studio. But I did a great remote. It was a double wedding. And it was with cowboys and on horseback and all, and it was that was fun shooting that. And I directed a location scene also in Central Park with two of the characters, Bo Buchanan and the guy who played Mel, and it was like a montage thing about them. They were good friends, and they were playing softball together. So it was, just all these shots, and that was, we were able to improvise. The guy who played Bo, who was just such a great guy. He liked me a lot, and he called me Coop. That was my nickname. Hey, Coop, could we how about something like this? And as long as the camera people were able to get it, and we did it. And then the editors had a great time putting all the footage that we shot to the John Fogerty song "Center Field." Because it was about playing baseball, so it was great. It was a lot of fun.
You got yourself a Daytime Emmy.
Two Daytime Emmys.
Two of them. The first. Now, is it for an episode?
No, it was actually like a team award. All the directing team was when you're nominated, it includes all the directors, all the associate directors, the stage managers who are also in the Directors Guild, and the production assistants. So in 2008, in fact, somebody just put a picture up on Facebook today of all of us behind the scenes. We had just come off the stage. We were on TV and all this, and we won Emmys in 2008 and 2009. So 2 years in a row we won, and it was just one of the most amazing feelings when they said "One life to live," and we all screamed and ran up on the stage, and it was really, really something. It was a time I'll never forget.
When do they host that?
When?
Yes.
It was usually in June, like toward the end of June. Now it's different, and with only 4 soaps, it's I really don't even watch the Daytime Emmys anymore. But but back then, it was at the end of June, and usually they were in Los Angeles or Las Vegas.
So they had to give you guys some time off, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Think about it. You're shooting all these during the week. Then, like, okay, here's the awards, so you guys get a little break.
Exactly.
So I'm sure everybody was very happy. Family was proud of you, I'm sure.
Oh, yeah. It was, I remember being on stage, and I had my phone in my pocket, and my phone is ringing off the hook, and of course I couldn't answer it, but, so it was my parents, and, so when I got a chance to call them, it was very exciting.
Did you get to do some kind of acceptance speech, or one person spoke on behalf of everybody?
One person spoke. It was our main director. She was there the longest, so she spoke. But I was just telling my girlfriend, because I showed her the picture on Facebook, and I said that for the telecast, I stood right over this director's shoulder, and my mother asked me later on, "You were on TV the whole time. How did you know where to stand?" I said, "Ma, I was a cameraman for how many years? I know if she's talking, the camera's going to be on her, so I'd be right behind her."
You gotta know your position.
Yes, exactly.
But all good things come to an end.
Yes.
When did the show finally wrap?
2012. 2012 or... No, it's actually just, I think 2013. It was just in April. Somebody, one of the camera guys put up on Facebook that it was... No, that's when they were... I'm sorry. I think it was December of 2012. That's when the show went off the air, and is very sad. We thought it would go on forever, and back in the day there were 12, 13, or 14 soaps on in one day. Between the 3 networks, CBS, NBC, and ABC. And now there are only 4 left, and they're all done out in